of beauty, isn't it?
It is beautiful. It is a thing of beauty. It is.
He's a good liar. Look at that. There's no emotion behind those eyes. That guy is just, she's great. Oh, she is so great. I love her so much. Do you guys remember the TV show Pimp My Ride? I have a feeling a lot of you guys are a little too young to remember it, but I fondly remember as a kid flipping through the channels and seeing Pimp My Ride on and just wishing that my parents' car would end up on that show. In hindsight, with all the stuff we know now, like 20 years later, it's probably a good thing one of my parents' cars never did. But the early 2000s were full of shows like this, you know, Pimp My Ride, Home Extreme Makeover, girlfriend swapping and stuff like that. Weird shows were all over the channels in the early 2000s. Pimp My Ride, though, was one that I remember still to this day. And like I said, in hindsight, I can't believe they did a lot of the stuff that they did. Besides all of like the crazy allegations and all of the nightmare production behind the show, if you were luckily selected to be on this show, your car got snatched from you for like 6 months to a year while they transformed it and pimped it out. A lot of these cars are shit boxes. Even back in the early 2000s, they were shit boxes, and they wouldn't fix them mechanically. That was one thing that they really didn't do. They would just play dress up with cars. Essentially, Pimp My Ride is dress up for cars. They would take like one thing about your character and make your whole car about that. If there was a Pimp My Ride in 2024, there would be Fortnite cars everywhere and like anime cars everywhere. There already are anime cars everywhere, but imagine a Renegade Wada car. The streets ain't ready for that. Today we're gonna try to watch a couple episodes and see just how they destroyed these cars. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make this not copyrighted, so bear with me. If it's tiny, I'm sorry, but I will do my best to work my magic in editing. Anyways, let's start with one car that I actually remember seeing in person. And if I've ever found my old flip phone, I have photos of this car. Let's take a look at the ultimate beach car.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't know crack came in so many different varieties.
And right here on the hood, I'm gonna paint a huge Tiki God. This girl's always gonna be riding in paradise.
As a kid, I remember just watching this and being like, that is so cool. They're painting a giant tiki head on this. In hindsight, being 20, however old I am right now, I can't imagine driving around with a giant tiki on the hood of my vehicle, especially a piece of shit like that.
Jossie, wheels and tires, what you got?
I'm hooking Esmeralda with 18-inch solid chrome wheels so she can look good driving to the beach and on the beach.
I'm gonna give Esmeralda some wheels so when she curbs this shit, you can't see them because they're so reflective, you ain't even gonna be able to tell. That's a genius idea right there. So reflective wheels that they hide curb marks. Genius.
I want to make sure that this girl has the sand beneath her feet. So I'm putting in a sand floor just like at the beach.
That sounds fucking horrible, dude. Imagine you're trying to escape the sand. I hate sand. I like the beach, but I hate sand with a passion. You try to escape the sand. Every time you climb into your car, you now have sand in your damn shoes. That sounds like a headache and a half. They should have followed it up with, and just to fuck with her, we're gonna put some crabs in there as well, pinching her goddamn toes while she drives.
Diggity, you're all washed up. What do you think for this one?
You've got to have a rockin' body if you want to be.
Dude, the amount of hairspray in all these dudes' hair is ridiculous. That's the only thing I'm noticing. This dude's hair is not moving at all. Homeboy's looking like the Statue of Liberty, but on meth.
And so Esmeralda can really check out the beach scene, I'm installing a coin-operated high-power binoculars that'll come down from a flip bar right over her head.
You know how many times I've been driving and wish that I had some crazy contraption where binoculars would flip down in front of my face? You know, the great view you have in the parking lot at a beach? Great view. They should have gave this car to a pervert, a beach pervert. He would have had a field day with this one. Stain-resistant seats too. That would have been a must.
Since a girl loves the beach, I'm airbrushing a Tiki God like this one right here in the hood.
I've lived in SoCal my whole life, and I've gone to the beach a handful of times. I've never seen a tiki-themed thing at the beach. That's like a Hawaiian thing, isn't it? Tiki it is. I guess what else would they put, a dolphin on the hood? That looks like a toddler drew it. That doesn't even look like a Tiki God. It just looks like a chubby kid that's angry. I'm the chubby kid and I'm angry. Like, the guy's skilled, don't get me wrong. The guy painting is skilled, and I'm sure a lot of the people that actually work on the vehicles are skilled. And I'm 99% sure a lot of these ideas came from the producers, people that don't know jack about cars. But at some point, someone's got to look at this and be like, that looks dumb as hell. At some point, but I guess not. Dude, I remember seeing this car. So the story behind when I saw this car, I was riding through my neighborhood and it was legit parked on the street that I used to live on It was a long street, but it was like way down towards the end. And I think I was with my homeboy Daniel, and both of us were like, dude, that car's from Pimp My Ride. And like, it stood out like a sore thumb. It was pretty hard to miss. I mean, it was bright yellow. And I remember I pulled out my little flip phone and I took a photo of it. And again, if I ever find that phone, it is still on there. I don't think I ever will. Dude, actually, I might be able to. There's a couple places at my parents' house where it's potentially there.
She's gonna need to stay cool. So I'm hooking her up with her own snow cone maker, right in the trunk of her car.
We got sand in the front, and we got a snow cone maker in the rear. Don't you need ice for a snow cone maker? Are you gonna have a freezer back there too? At least like a soda pop machine, you know, that seems semi-useful, but a snow cone maker? Come on, man.
Now we need to add a snow cone maker and throw some ice in the bucket.
Yeah, that ice is gonna last about 30 seconds in SoCal heat. That ice ain't lasting. And now she has no trunk. There is nowhere to put anything. And all the sticky shit back there, all the syrup is gonna just flop around. But hey, she got a snow cone maker. That shit was probably 30 bucks at Walmart back then.
I'm hooking our girl up with a high-powered binocular machine like this one right in the back of her car.
With these high-powered binoculars,
What happened to the high-powered binoculars he just showed us? That's some Dollar General shit. Those are not high-powered. I mean, those are decent. But what you just showed us is a big difference from that. All right, here we go, the big reveal. Let's see how pumped she is about this. Keep this in mind when watching this. They had to film them getting hyped like 30 times because the producers wanted to make sure it looked crazy. So just imagine doing this take 30 times. Now let's watch it.
When I first got your Sunbird, you had a lot of do-it-yourself.
I met her.
going on.
She's famous.
You didn't have keys, you used pliers.
You know what I think is most insulting about this show? They're walking her through a showroom of Shelbys and Ford GTs and all these nice-ass cars, and then they're gonna show her steaming pile of shit in a second. That's crazy. Like, dude, there's a saline right there. Esmeralda, you see, what we could have done is took your car and beat the fuck out of it and just gave you a new one. But instead, we made that shit look more like shit.
They did it right. So now all you gotta do is get in your whip and ride out. Esmeralda, look at your brand new ride.
Oh my God! I cannot. Oh my God!
That doesn't look like a girl's car. Whose idea was this? When you think of a girl and the beach, I think of soft blues and like maybe wood panel doors. You know, like an old school beach girl vibe. I don't think of giant tiki head angry on the hood and on the seats. That's crazy. Yeah, it looked better before. It looked much better before. I would drive the red version of it over this. So they don't like take her around and show it. I don't think this is a full episode. You can see how they truly did pimp that ride out. Now let's watch one with a Honda CRX.
Dude, I wouldn't even let my dog chew on that thing.
Dude, this guy's car is so dog shit. This guy's a fucking idiot for even thinking about pimping out a car like this. Oh, I can't even believe I gotta work on this fucking turd. Yeah, kick him while he's down, huh? Based on the way they talk about this car, the guy is a superhero fiend. This guy loves superheroes. So let's see how they've turned this Honda CRX into a superhero car.
I'm giving this car technological superpowers by filling the trunk with a gaming system. I'm talking about monitors, speakers, and an Xbox 360.
That was like, I think what always got me the most excited as a kid was them throwing gaming consoles in a vehicle. I never had like a gaming console in a vehicle. I had friends that had like PS2s in their Suburbans and stuff like that. And I was so jealous of them all the time. I was like, dude, gaming while driving on like a road trip would be insane. However, gaming while parked and having your trunk open, it sounds like the most miserable experience I can imagine. Hey bro, you wanna go play some Halo? Set it up, man. We'll order some pizzas. Nah, well we gotta go out to the parking lot. Oh, we're gonna drive to get the pizzas? Nah, we're gonna play Halo in the parking lot. Delete my number.
When it comes to chroming cars, most guys just do the wheels, bumpers, and grills. But not me. We're going all out by covering this baby with 100% chrome paint.
Just what you want from your little Honda. You want it to be fucking chromed out.
Well, I gotta say, looking good. And the car?
Look at how wavy this hood is. There isn't a straight, flat panel on this whole hood. Pimp my ride.
This is the very first issue of a rare Fantastic Four comic book, and we're gonna highlight it in the CRX.
You know for a fact, if that is a real first edition that's worth actual money, they snatched that shit back before he drove off the lot. I just know Pimp My Ride would do that 100%.
Once again, Jason has come to the rescue.
What purpose does that have? What purpose does that have? Why would you be driving around with a super rare comic book, especially in a Honda in the early 2000s? Those things get jacked more than Hellcats nowadays. You lose your car and you lose your most valuable comic book.
Now, Jonathan, when you first came in,
where the fuck is Exhibit? Who the hell is this? Who the fuck is Chad Millionaire?
Your car had a lot of dents in it. The inside was looking like a sandbox.
Oh, well then fuck that other girl you gave a sandbox to, huh?
I want to make sure that this girl has the sand beneath her feet. So I'm putting in a sand floor just like at the beach.
You're not gonna believe it. Check out your brand new ride.
Oh my God.
Gosh, no way!
Dude, look at those exhaust tips. It's like a swollen asshole. Ugh.
Oh, this is crazy.
Chrome paint just never looks as good as people think it's gonna. Like, in no world should you have chrome paint next to actual chrome, because it just makes the chrome paint look so much worse. I can tell from this like 360p video that this looks like ass.
It really isn't.
It's beautiful. It is a thing of beauty. It is.
He's a good liar. Look at that. There's no emotion behind those eyes. That guy is just, she's great. Oh, she is so great. I love her so much. No feeling behind those eyes. The only thought is, Jesus, I wasted 6 months of my life for this. That's a pretty good taste of what Pimp My Ride was like. In hindsight, I understand why they had to go crazy with everything. Nobody wants to see a car just get a nice coat of paint and some wheels. And ain't nobody gonna watch that. But doing crazy stuff like that, yeah, I could see why they had to do that. If only they actually made the cars run better, then I think it would have been a win-win for everyone. Like, yeah, you get this work done on your car for free, but they're not fixing anything. They're just slapping some paint on it and a cheap body kit. And at the same time, you also have to pay to rent a vehicle the whole time. In some cases, for 6 months. But anyways, what do you guys think? Was Pimp My Ride ahead of its time? Most definitely not. Should Pimp My Ride return in 2024 and we see Fortnite cars everywhere? I hope so. Anyways, subscribe, and until next video, peace. By the way, guys, I'm thinking about starting up a Patreon. If you guys are interested, let me know down below, where we can react to all this car content, not have to worry about copyright infringement or anything like that. We could watch all of the Netflix car shows like Rust to Riches. We could watch Pimp My Ride. We could watch all the Fast and the Furious movies. Let me know down below.